We are live. Hello, I'm Abram. I'm a professional nutritionist, and I've been so for the last decade. And I've helped thousands of women melt their body fat without counting calories. And today I wanted to teach you how you can stop gaining and losing the same 10 pounds over and over, slowly increasing your weight over time. And first, I want to teach you how you can identify it, and then teach you the common pitfalls that stop women from being able to lose weight consistently. So the first thing that would get you to, gain and lose the same weight over and over and over is you are not tracking the right metrics. So the very first thing you should do if you actually want to lose weight and you're serious about losing this weight and keeping it off is you have to stop counting calories and tracking protein. It is a complete waste of time. I cannot emphasize that enough. You do not and should not be counting calories or tracking your protein. Protein does not break the laws of thermodynamics. It does not create a calorie deficit. And for a lot of women, they suffer from inflammatory problems, and this is the real issue that would stop them from being able to lose weight, because you could be in a calorie deficit and still not lose weight if you have inflammatory problems. They're also called cellular fire. So how do you identify it? How do you actually know if it's inflammation? How do you know if it's the cellular fire? Or how do you know if it's body fat that you have to lose and what is causing that weight loss plateau and what's keeping your weight stuck? So the first thing you could do is you could track your weight every single day. So you want to weigh yourself in the morning, before you eat, after you use the bathroom, wearing the same clothes or no clothes at all. And then you are going to see a trend. And then what you're looking for is your weight almost exactly the same every single day? If your weight is almost exactly the same for 3 days in a row, that is a telltale sign of inflammation or the cellular fire. And what that is you just being puffed up like a big old water balloon. What are the odds that you would drink the same amount of water, you would sweat the same amount, you would have the same amount of water content inside your food, that you'd poop the same amount, that you would have all of your water in your body be identical day to day is like zero. There's no possible chance that that can happen unless you have the cellular fire. So what do you do in order to get to the place where you can actually lose the weight and keep it off after tracking it? If you see that your weight is almost exactly the same for 3 consecutive days, what you want to do is you want to follow an anti-inflammatory protocol, and I have one for free. You can have it. It's in the link. Just click the link. I don't know how to give you the link. Just click the link. There's a link somewhere on here. Click that link. It'll bring you to an anti-inflammatory protocol. All you have to do is eat whole fruits, and that's from nature. You should not be taking a supplement. You should not be doing something in order to get on their payroll forever. You should just be doing this naturally. It's 100% doable to get all of the vitamins and minerals you need to lose weight on a consistent basis without having to take any type of supplement or track your protein or track your calories. The second thing you want to do is, if that cellular fire is not actually being taken care of, if you identify that's what it is, like if you follow the anti-inflammatory protocol and you actually lose a ton of weight, it's a telltale sign. That means that you actually need to follow a generally anti-inflammatory diet moving forward. If you don't do that, then it's just going to come back plus some. So you want to be able to make sure that you can identify what is actually causing that type of cellular fire. And the number one cause, I used to think it was from having inflammatory foods. So we all know that the top 2 causes for this cellular fire, this inflammation in the gut for women, is protein shakes and refined carbohydrates. So if you were to have protein shakes, obviously you drink a big protein shake, you know that your gut is like, you feel like you're about to explode. you're just big and bulbous. Like, that's not normal. You shouldn't be big and bloated and feel like taking a nap after eating something or drinking something. And it's probably just because of the mechanism of you doing it, because you're drinking the calories. If you were to eat like eggs and get protein in that way, it doesn't have that same effect. Why? Because your body can better digest it. It's not happening so quickly. And with these protein shakes, they have refined carbohydrates in them. Those refined carbohydrates will actually speed up the digestion, which is normally what you want. If you're someone that's optimizing for getting bigger, you do want to make sure you track your protein. But if you're optimizing for getting smaller and stronger at the same time, which is what the women in our program follow, you want to focus on doing strength training at least twice a week, and in order to maintain your muscle and then get stronger, and then put the rest of your time, energy, and effort into making the weight loss really freaking easy. And you do that by identifying which foods are causing this problem. So you'll notice that protein shake or those refined carbs, they make you very tired right after eating them. That's because they're causing this huge insulin spike that happens. It's like the rest and digest approach. Like if you've ever been on a big Thanksgiving meal and you eat like a whole bunch of food, you feel like taking a nap. And it's not the tryptophan in the turkey. It's just from eating a crap load of food. That'll happen if you eat a crap load of anything. So what happens? You will actually get to the point where you are you're losing weight consistently, and all of a sudden you hit a plateau, and then it stops. You can follow the anti-inflammatory protocol, and I'm sorry I don't know how to share it other than it looks like it's somewhere here. Someone tell her how to find it. You want to follow this anti-inflammatory protocol. You could just message me. Just send me a direct message saying PDF. There should be a button to click to send me a direct message. Comments won't work, but you can send me a direct message saying PDF, and I'll just send you the link. You follow that anti-inflammatory protocol, you realize that the cellular fire is keeping that weight on. You think that it's to remove the inflammatory foods, but it is actually to add in more anti-inflammatory foods. Because what is actually happening is that is getting stuck in your gut at some point. This is also known as like a mild form of sepsis. It is called leaky gut. And what it's doing is undigested food particles are leaking out from your gut into your bloodstream. That's why when you eat, you primarily gain weight in your midsection. It's also called cortisol belly because it's often caused by having too much stress. You're in fight or flight. You're not in rest and digest. You don't have proper digestion. It leads to this mild form of sepsis called leaky gut. And that causes the food particles to leak out, so you got little poop particles floating all around, and that causes inflammation everywhere your blood goes, which is everywhere, but primarily in the midsection. So in order to clear that out, all you need to do is eat a lot more anti-inflammatory foods and if you're also on a weight loss diet, you want to make sure that these are anti-obesity foods as well, which are inside of that link that I gave you. It's abramskmtp.com/fruit study. Free, and you can see it on my profile, or just message me if you want me to send you that. But by eating these, it'll actually clear that out. So you might not have to take out the protein shakes. You might not have to take out like the fried foods and the refined carbs. You might be able to lose weight just by simply adding in more of these things. But the key is to replace part of your diet with it. So if you were to eat 100% of your plate, what you want to do is you want to replace part of it with whatever this anti-inflammatory fruit would be, these things that cure the cellular fire. So you actually want to eat more of these. That means you actually want to eat more, physically eat more, than you would normally have of these foods. And these foods, when they go through your system, they're going to secrete a mucus. It's called chyme, but it's going to secrete through your intestinal lining. And where it was normally leaking through and getting into your bloodstream, you're now going to have a water kind of whooshing effect, and it's going to push that water into your digestive system. That means it's actually going to stop things from leaking out and push them in so they can be pushed out your poop hole. But not diarrhea. That's the key. Because if you eat these foods, what they do is they form it's a mucus around your poop, essentially. It globs it together. It's called soluble fiber that would do this. It will glob it together, so that way it pulls it all out the other end. But a really freaking cool thing happens. You could reach a 30% calorie deficit just by having more regular bowel movements because you are actually able to better absorb these things, and they slow down absorption. By eating the dietary fiber, the carbohydrates that are in these anti-obesity fruits, these anti-inflammatory ones in that anti-inflammatory protocol, they will slow the absorption of cholesterol, they slow the absorption of fat, and they slow the absorption of sugar to the point where it will actually glob it together and push it all the way through on the other end because of that whooshing effect. So essentially water is going through, and it's going to keep it together and push it through so you don't absorb all of those calories. How cool is that? You can literally eat this same total volume of food, but lose body fat. That's exactly what happens with the women in our program. You'll probably see them comment on my stuff. Just ask them their experience in the program. My program guarantees results. If you're interested in joining that, just send me a message saying info and I could reach out. But the last thing you want to do, if these two things don't work, if following the anti-inflammatory protocol of reducing that cellular fire does work, then you want to make sure you add in more of those into your regular diet. But if that doesn't work, and if adding these anti-obesity foods doesn't work, which works for like 90% of women, if that doesn't work and you want to pull out all the stops, you want to make sure that you are making data-driven decisions. And this is the crazy thing. So I've been working with women for over a decade now. I've been running this program forever. It was originally created to help my wife lose 60 pounds, and she lost the 60 pounds in 2 months, and the weight just melted off. Like we could not keep the weight on. It was the most insane thing I've ever seen, so we've taught it to thousands of women now. But more importantly, since I've been running this program since 2014, what I've noticed is that women's microbiomes are completely unique. We have never had 2 women with the exact same solution. And we've worked with thousands of women. Thousands. Like, not like a couple hundred. Literally thousands of women we worked with. We have never had 2 with the exact same solution. How is that possible? I have seen women in my program, a vegetarian, that every single time she ate celery, she was unable to lose weight. How freaking weird is that? Celery is a negative calorie food. It's anti-inflammatory. But for her specific microbiome, it just didn't agree with her. I worked with a woman just a couple of months ago. She was on one of my coaching calls. We have 19 coaching calls every single week inside of her program. So she hopped on one of the 19 per week that we have. We really have to make sure our clients see results. But she hopped on one of these calls, and we found that these little pineapple wedges, they were like this big. She was eating 3 of them at the end of her meal. And those pineapple wedges, every single time we saw that they were in her diet, she was unable to lose weight. It's like 15 calories of pineapple. But we took those pineapple wedges and we swapped them out for little mini oranges, and she kept losing weight. Never had a problem since then. Imagine going your whole life, and the reason you can't lose weight is 15 calories of pineapple. Like, you'd want to put your head through a wall. Like, you're eating healthy, you're exercising, you're doing everything right, but you just can't lose weight. It's because you're not making data-driven decisions. You need to see what works for you specifically. And the only way to do that is to collect data for yourself, look at that data, and say, what does this data mean for me? If you can make those data-driven decisions, that is how you will guarantee your success. That's exactly what we do for the women in our program. We teach them how to do it so they don't need us, which sounds funny because my number one goal is for women who join my program to never have to join another program. And the way we're going to do that is by teaching them how to not need us aggressively. You know, obviously, you can join up to 19 calls a week. That's insane with professional nutritionists, hormonal health specialists. People have been doing this for 20 plus years. Why would you need that much support? Why do the women in our program get a 24/7 support chat? Why would we have so much support? Why would we overdo it like this? It's because they need to learn how to do it without us. And the faster we can do that, the better it is for us, because we don't have to work all the time then. If we can make you successful without us, that's the key. And the quicker we can do that, the better results are that you see, and the longer your results will be. Because what's the point of losing weight if you're gaining and losing the same 10 pounds over and over and over? There's no point. There's literally no point. You should lose the weight and keep it off forever. And the only way to do that is by making those data-driven decisions. If you would like that anti-inflammatory protocol, it's 100% free. You can either send me a direct message, so click the messenger button somewhere here, or click my profile, click send message, and then send me a message saying PDF, or just go to the link somewhere on here. Hopefully there's a link somewhere. Just enter your first name and your email, and you'll get it for free. Or you can go to my YouTube channel. It's on there too. Either way, I don't know what my name of my YouTube is, or I'd say it. It's somewhere on the internet. Type in Abram Anti-Inflammatory Protocol on YouTube. Maybe it'll be there too. I don't know. It's on my Facebook too somewhere. I also don't know how to send it. I know it's on the website though. Just send me a message and I can send it your way. That is it. Looks like we got a crap load of people. Hopefully this was super helpful. Hope everyone has a freaking awesome rest of your day. Love you all. Thanks.